Hey, I'm Shelly,
And I'm Angela,
and this is Real Talk Dating Exposed.
where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of dating in your 40s.
If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and like us below.
And if you're listening to us on audio, please subscribe as well.
Now let's get into it.
So fair warning, this list that we're about to dive into will trigger you.
It will trigger you.
It triggered us, continues to trigger me. I was reading it last night. I'm like, my blood was boiling. Let's dive into 10 things that women do not want to hear.
Men, never say these 10 things to your women.
Ever.
Period.
All right. Like, these are fighting words.
They're fucking fighting words.
Yeah.
All right.
Number one.
Number one, you are imagining things.
I mean, I have to laugh because I feel like if I came to my husband, boyfriend, whatever, upset, like, hey, you said this and it upset me, or like, and he said you're imagining things, I'd be like, what the fuck?
I mean, I guess it's one thing, right? If you're like, babe, I heard like there's someone in our garage, you know, and then they're different. Like, babe, you're imagining things. Like someone's on the roof. There's someone breaking in the house. No, but if you're like, oh my God, I caught you talking to this chick.
No, you're imagining things. Could you imagine?
Could you? I mean, it's like gaslighting and like
invalidating
at its finest.
Yes.
Like a mix of both of those.
Yeah.
So we are just not here for that. Men, never say that to your woman.
Ever.
All right. What's number two?
I don't see what the problem is.
I don't see what the problem is. We're telling you what the problem is, right? Like that to me, once again, is you just discrediting what I'm trying to communicate to you.
Do you need me to say it again, slower?
And where it's okay if you don't see it, but now you have, your point is fucking
acknowledge it. Acknowledge it.
Yeah. Well, you better fucking see it. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you what it is.
Well, that's the problem, is that you don't see it. So let's just
agree. But isn't that like that's so what's the word I'm looking for?
Dismissive.
Thank you.
Yes.
Dismissive. And we're not fucking about that.
No.
Okay. Third one. Angela, why are you ruining a good day? Like, could you imagine your partner saying that to you? Like, Angela, you are ruining a good day.
Yeah. I come to you because I'm upset. Maybe it's like whatever the situation is.
And I mean, in what world would
I ruining it or you ruining it
with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Again, that's just so self-serving. And if I ever heard that, I would be like, okay, awesome. Like my feelings don't matter. And that goes back to like where we'd be like, hashtag walking on eggshells. And like, I never want to be in a relationship again where I feel like I have to watch what I say when I say it. God forbid I ruin this
fucking day with my feelings.
Agree. No.
But also it doesn't create a situation. Like if I was in a relationship and someone said that to me, like, do you think I'm going to go to them next time I'm upset or like want to talk about something? No.
Agree. And then what does that cause? Then you're naturally
distance, closed off,
totally
resentment,
and
resentment,
and all those things, and then that is where shit goes south.
Number 5,
I think we're on number 4.
Yeah, 4.
That sounds like a you problem. Like literally, in what world would you have a conversation with someone and like tell them like, that really sounds like a you problem. So like, once again, is that like hashtag dismissive?
The whole theme of this is like the inability to validate someone's feelings. Again, you don't have to agree with the person and what they're saying, but you do as a partner, a good one, you need to acknowledge and hear and understand.
Totally. I mean, listen, if my significant other came up to me, my hypothetical significant other, babe, take the garbage out, I would be like, that's a you problem. Yeah. In that case, okay, fucking use that shit. You know what I mean? Like something like that. I'd be like, nope, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
Like that is your job. But not when you're literally, I think anytime you're delving into your feelings and your feels and being vulnerable with someone, like if they told you like, well, that's a you problem for feeling that way, like I'd probably punch them in the face.
Yeah. Like let's say it's a situation where like you came to them and like, hey, the other day when we were in an argument, like you raised your voice and it made me feel this type of way. And then he comes back with
that's a you problem. Well, again, I feel like that's gaslighting, right?
Like I hate it.
It's
so
leading
much.
you into like, well, that's because you got me angry.
Yeah.
You know, it all leads down that path of gaslit narcissistic bullshit. And like, we're not
about that life.
All right.
Number 5, you're so sensitive.
Oh my goodness. I love this one. I'm like, do you want me to be a savage psychopath, because I can be that too. So which one would you rather have? I mean, women are supposed to be sensitive. I hate when we are poo-pooed for
being too much or
too
having
emotional or
feelings
being sensitive. But again, isn't that just
it goes against everything we talk about, right? Like there's the masculine, there's the feminine role. Like if you can't be sensitive and emotional and have a space in which you can communicate that, then you're getting a fucking masculine woman. And that's going to not be good with this type of man.
agree, or a shutdown woman, right?
Yeah.
Because not every woman can flow into that masculine the way you and I can. You know, we're like feminine till we're not. And then the minute you make us not feel safe, like we are laying the fucking smack down,
Yeah.
you know, and we're going into that space.
Yeah.
We can pull the alpha out. Like the alpha card can come out quick with you and I. But like if there's a softer woman that doesn't lean into that masculine, isn't really
She's just gonna
comfortable
shut
doing
down.
that, she's going to fucking shut down. And then you are getting a shell of a woman as your partner. And who fucking wants that?
And then she's going to be propositioning a threapositioning a threesome later on.
Maybe she... to get that
validation
and that estrogen in her life.
Yes.
That, oh my gosh. Watch our other podcast
Okay, number 6
for that one. All right.
Number 6.
Your feelings are not my problem.
But now they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, again, at what point does this man, we'll say in this situation, like not take ownership for how they make someone feel?
For sure. Have you ever been told that?
No.
Like your feelings are not my problem?
No.
I feel like I have been invalidated that way. Maybe not in those exact words, but where it really was just like, oh, and it kind of goes back to the other ones, right? Like you're too sensitive. Like your feelings aren't like, that's your thing to deal with. Like I've been told that in so many ways. And I mean, again, hashtag gaslighting. I feel like this is the theme of these, how this would make anyone feel.
Narcissistic gaslighting.
Yeah, which is like your feelings are like your problem, you know?
Yeah.
When in reality, it's like, no, asshole, I'm telling you.
your actions are affecting me.
Yeah, and I'm telling you how I fucking feel.
Yeah.
So acknowledge them.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Okay.
You're making a big deal about nothing, Angela.
I mean, we keep saying this, but like these are fucking fighting words for me.
Yeah.
I feel like if someone said you're making a big deal about nothing, like it would be like instant trigger.
A trigger?
Me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you feel like there's
it's going to escalate the situation for me?
For sure.
Now, if you're talking about a woman who's like you were talking about more of a shell, then she's just going to shut down. But like that is not, I will not shut down. I'm going to bite back.
Yeah. But don't you feel like there are some, so devil's advocate on this one, like, don't you feel like there are some scenarios where people do blow shit out of proportion where you'd be like, dude, like, say you're on a phone with a client. I mean, it will lead to other things, but like, say, I don't know, your person's getting jealous about something that you feel like it shouldn't. And you're like, dude, you're making a big deal about nothing. Like, are you always going to validate all the feelings? Even if because I do feel like it can come down to different scenarios that would warrant that response where it'd be like, you are overreacting. Like, I understand how you feel, but like,
don't you feel like that should be like a 2-part conversation?
Potentially.
Like you validate, you understand, you're compassionate, and then maybe like the next day or later that day, like hey, I just want to like circle back around. Like now that we've talked through this and just give you my perspective and my thoughts on it, I think that's a 2-part. It's not done at the same time because then it becomes invalidating. You're not, it needs to be 2 separate things.
Okay.
I think.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. But still making a big deal about nothing. I mean, I feel like I've said that. Maybe I'm just calling myself out. But there are times where I'm like, calm down. Pump the brakes.
Calm down.
That's another one. That's not on the list. Maybe that should have been 11. Calm down. I mean, I feel like I've said that too.
Really? I feel like I've probably said it and it's been said to me and it just never goes
ends well. Yeah, no, because it's like, breathe, Angela, breathe.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, how about I'm sorry that you feel that way?
So this is like, I feel like this could go either way because I feel like maybe I'm just guilty of some of these. I feel like there's been times where I was ending it even with a potential date or someone I've dated for a little bit. And I'd be like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but that wasn't my intention to make you. So like, I feel like I've used that.
But I think it's all in your tone.
For sure.
Right?
And
like
the context.
Again, if you come to someone, you're like, hey, I'm really sad about blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, if,
that's
like,
fucking
period.
great.
I feel like if it's I'm sorry you feel that way, period. And that's what they're utilizing to respond to you.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Well, then that's fucking not okay.
But I also feel like, I do feel like if there's a situation where someone comes to you and tells you like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. And you say, I'm sorry I feel that way, but that wasn't my intention. I don't think your intention matters.
Because
they're feeling their way because
But haven't you ever told someone like, "Oh, I'm sorry," you could like someone you didn't mean to make feel that way?
Yeah.
I feel like you use that. I think it's just a difference whether or not it's being used with like a period or a comma,
Yeah, and tone and all
right?
of that. But in this situation, we're gonna be dismissive, right? Like, I'm
Totally. Well,
sorry
if
you
it's
feel
just like,
that
"Oh,
way.
I'm just sorry you feel that way."
Yeah.
Well,
Moving
that's
on.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not okay.
not okay.
Number 8.
I was just kidding. Can't you take a joke?
This is a situation where clearly he wasn't kidding,
For sure.
right?
Well,
Like,
and then it's like flipping in and gaslighting onto you. Like, can't you take a joke? Like making it a you problem.
yes.
Yeah. Have you ever heard that?
No,
No.
I haven't. But let's say it's a situation where like I come out in a dress or something and he's like, "Oh,
You didn't wear the black one. You wore the red one.
yeah. Oh, I was just kidding. You were fucking kidding."
Yeah. So do you feel like that automatically is they're out, but like it's
Yes.
full? It's like hashtag bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
It's like them trying to sidestep out of their lies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, not taking ownership. Okay, number 10, we'll wrap this up. It is,
Why can't you just get over it? Oh,
why do we hate this one so
probably
much?
because I've heard it so many times, and
Yeah.
again, I think we hate it because they're obviously we're not getting over it for
Because
a
you're not
reason.
fucking validating our feelings,
For sure.
right? Like if it's a situation where I'm continuously coming to you and being like, "Hey, I'm feeling this or I'm thinking this, whatever," and I can't get over it, it's because you are not handling me properly.
to get over it.
Yes.
Do you think women do hang on to things that they shouldn't sometimes, or men?
I
Do you ever
mean,
think there's an
maybe.
instance where it's like, why are we not over this yet? Like,
Yeah, but I think that then the question could be more or less like, what do you need from me in this moment?
yeah,
Not why can't
why
you
can't
get
you
over
get
it?
over it? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I agree with that. I just think a lot of these are that like, it's like the one-liners that get men.
They're zingers
They're
that just
zingers
like
that just like,
fucking put the
well, they want to
gas
shut
to
it down
the-
quick, right? Like they
yes.
want to shut down the emotional shit we're spewing at
Yeah.
them, because they
Yeah.
don't want to deal with it. So they want to either gaslight their way out of it or invalidate it or really just shoot it down to axe it in that moment. So these are like the good one-liners that can be said, but like men never say these things.
don't.
I mean, do
say
you feel
them.
like
these
this
are
is more
fighting words?
more prevalent with men than women?
Probably.
Yeah.
But maybe we're biased because we're obviously not a
Men.
man
Yeah.
dating women.
Do you feel like men gaslight more than women?
No, I think it probably happens both sides.
I mean, I agree.
yeah.
I don't think it's one-sided.
No.
But I feel like from our points of view, when I read these things, I'm like, oh my God, this is totally shit men would do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was like ready to fight someone after this.
Yeah. If you guys have any to add to this list of 10
Yes.
of what not to say, we want to hear from you. And if you aren't following us on all of the major platforms and audio platforms, you know them all, please go give us a follow.
Thanks for listening.